Dr. Deer, brought to you by Buck Forage.
Well, hey folks, this week on Dr. Deer, we're talking about balancing your expectations on small tracts of land.
Yeah.
And James, that can be a difficult thing for small landowners, guys who
Right.
have, not necessarily great big tracts of land,
Right.
deciding what critical elements they want to put in to attract deer, to hold deer, and also how to really, come up with an accurate depiction of the quality of the deer that you want to harvest.
Right. Have realistic expectations about what that piece of property can produce and how many deer you can produce. If you're expecting to produce Boone and Crockett whitetails every year, well, that's not going to happen. It doesn't even happen on large pieces of property.
Right.
But, balance out your expectations of the age class of deer you're going to be able to harvest there. And sometimes you can modify that by what's going on next to you. You might be able to, if you've got a co-op going, you might be able to raise that expectation. But don't have unrealistic expectations.
Oh, yeah. And, I think it's a common problem, especially for guys with smaller tracts of ground, to want their property to have everything and to be perfect.
Right.
And sometimes that's just not feasible.
Right.
Not all pieces of ground can sustain, a water source or large food plots.
Right.
It's not always effective to try and have everything in one central location. So you have to kind of analyze what you do have and use it effectively to harvest those deer.
And a lot of times the old adage, more is not always better,
Right.
is important. We usually recommend landowners plant about 2 to 3% of their property if you have the climate where you can grow food plots. That's more than adequate to offset. A well-planned acre of food plot is equal to about 100 acres of woods.
Sure.
So, balance out what you do. Just don't go crazy over what you plant or what you do.
Oh, yeah. And, also just the quality of the deer you're harvesting, it varies so much across the country.
Right.
Guys in certain areas are killing, much bigger bodied and racked deer.
Right.
And is not necessarily something that's that critical. You can only kill the best deer for your part of the country.
Yes.
And when you do so, you've done a great job.
Yeah, I think there's been an overemphasis in score. And everybody wants to kill a big monster deer. Well, we like to kill as good a deer as the property will produce.
Sure.
That's more important to live within we got different races of whitetails.
Right.
Some of them are big bodied, some of them are smaller bodied,
Sure.
big antlered, smaller antlered. Make your goal where you're trying to produce the best deer that land will produce.
Oh, yeah. Just get out there and enjoy it, and enjoy that small tract of land.
Make it fun.
That's right. Well, folks, I'm Haynes Shelton,
And I'm James Kroll.
and this is North American Whitetail.